we've tried to do this from a first principles approach, where we just trying to come up with some conventions that are transparent and simple for everybody to understand. That is very common that an ID is just a number, and that has a certain simplicity. We actually ended up doing a convention like this. So we do have sort of a numbering in there, but it sort of comes in this format. And then we also include in the ID a sort of no special character version of the manuscript name. And that is just that if somehow imagine we all die and the archaeologists of tomorrow stumble upon our, I don't know, our Amazon warehouse or something, and they can only see the names of the folders on there with the IDs, then they will at least get some hint of what kind of manuscript it might be pointing at, and that it was something that came from our database because the OCHS part is in there, and because we've sort of given it this part. Obviously, it also complicates it a little bit because how do you generate these in the first place? I've got a piece of code to generate these. We would never just generate them by hand, but yeah, so you see, I've got a little piece of R code here that that can do something like that. So that can create this format. So if I just uncomment here, you can see if we had imagine we had a name that looks a bit like this. Right. Actually, let me just. How do you? Oh, how do you clear the term? I should know this. How to clear terminal in R. Control L. Okay. Oh, there we go. Okay. So the test name looks like this. If you then run that function with, for example, number 19, it'll output this. There we go. That was the naming convention. Yeah, we already went over the metadata that was being stored on Google Sheets. I guess maybe people who are database freaks will be like, what the hell? This everybody should be using Postgres. This sucks. Why do you do that? We do it partly because it's intuitive, but also actually because one of the things that can be a pain in the butt with formal databases is version control. And with the Google Sheet, the version control is just built in. You can just click this. So if everything goes wrong and some hacker, I don't know, if someone by mistake deletes everything, you can just roll it back. And you can also just very easily just go and download an Excel sheet from this. So that's also another good reason why we do that.
Reasons for doing one or the other. The only thing I can think of here with Google Sheets would be that over time, if the database becomes big, then it could become a bottleneck, but that's the only thing I can think of. And I really think there's a lot of convenience in editing, but that's also the reason why you might want a formal database, because it's not, people won't just go in and change something in a formal database, while a Google Sheets thing is kind of attractive. Oh, I can just make a change here, and then you not messing up something else.
Very good point. What we've tried to do is that if I try to edit something, obviously I need to have edit access, but if I try to edit something here, then you will see that at least I get a warning. So I don't just do it by mistake. But then also we have I then built this metadata this editor app, as we'll get to, that is meant to solve exactly that kind of problem of editing in the right format. Because when you add new things with this, then you can't do it wrong. So for example, when you add a new entry here, you don't have to put in fact, you can't put in a catalog ID. It's going to be generated automatically in the right format. And when you input things, that you can't make a mistake. Good so far.
So that I'm sorry, that link was in the metadata editor, right?
Yeah, so this is the
Yes.
metadata editor.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I can even, well, so if I were to write something, Ulrich is, so as you saw, actually I think we will just no, actually let's just take it now. Why not? Uh, we already saw that the catalog IDs are generated based on the name and translation, but also he kind of wants to kind of go from the latest the latest number we have in the website, or in the Google Sheet. All of that is just handled automatically by this. And if I were to try to add something um, without putting a name transliteration, it must have one, because otherwise it can't make a catalog ID. And even if is a great hacker who wants to destroy, let's see, the OCHS and all the libtards, whatever. Um, if I were to try to submit this, they will also see that I can't actually, because I'll need to know the password. Because I don't know the password. Edit incorrect, incorrect password. So yeah, so this is something that you need to know what the password is, that I might disclose later in this conversation, or maybe I'll just send it by text to you. There we go. Okay, so yeah, but a very good point. Christopher, does that sort of address your question?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Cool. So we already went over how the photo and the text data are stored on Amazon Web Services. In order to get access to that, speak with, I guess Michael has my credentials. Michael, we use the same account, don't we?
Yeah,
You are me on Amazon AWS.
yeah, yeah,
Great.
yeah. Sure.
Uh,
It's your account, and yeah,
yeah.
in
In the dawn of time, Lal was the one. Lal is kind of the IT manager at the Oxford Center for Hidden Studies, and he's the one who ultimately kind of provides access to Amazon Web Services. Yeah, so this I already said. The stuff we actually use is in this bucket. The stuff we don't actively use is in this Glacier storage. And you can, if you're very curious and very voyeuristic, you can go and see what the pricing structure is for the Glacier here. Virtual unlimited scalability, isn't that great? 99.999 of data readability, great. Yeah, looks very good. Thank you, Jeff Bezos. Yes, and that's what we already said. There's subfolders for each manuscript named with the manuscript's internal catalog ID, and then there's stuff in there. I already said what this. Oh, maybe there was one thing I missed. The content there. If a manuscript has photos, then we want to have either. Well, then obviously we need to store the photos for that manuscript. And that could be either in the case of the images themselves, and then we have these three folders that I mentioned alongside a PDF with the collection of the medium-sized images. This CSV you will see there has information about the names, the sizes of the images as well. We use that on the web. This is also something you don't have to worry about this. This is being automatically generated by the scripts that will create manifests. So I think maybe I'll put this in the other way around. No, actually, yeah, maybe I'll do it like this. The script that generates the manifests also generate the image info file, but you don't even have to worry about that because it's wrapped up in another script. There's actually two options. Sometimes we don't actually have the image as far as the images themselves. Sometimes we just have a PDF. So if we look at our entry for Pradipika, you'll see you do not see photos on the left. You'll see a PDF instead. So that's also something that can happen. Bjarne, why is this actually the case? What did we not have the individual images for the Pradipika or? Oh, I guess this is actually because it's not even. Ah,
Yeah, this translation list is actually based on that publication, on that critical edition
interesting.
from the Lonaula Institutes. Yeah.
Interesting. Interesting. So this is almost more like kind of source content and not
it's
some manuscript
illustrated.
photos, as it were. Yeah. Yeah. For bonus points, you can make some suggested corrections to that Google Doc to just describe that accurately. So that is that. Oh, yeah, and then we said that if a manuscript has text, then its folder should also have a CSV file with the text data in this format, or or kind of it is a CSV file with the text data that gets this that creates this. I think in the future maybe there would be a way to actually ignore that and just have people put up any format they want, and then that CSV file could be automatically created. But that's not how the world looks for now. So I guess if we go to the Hatha Pradipika example on, oh, I've signed out somehow. I am going to log in here. So if we go to Hatha Pradipika entry here, what number is it? 28. Then you can see, in fact, that we have the PDF that's been shown, and we also have the CSV file. There's a little catch here in that. Oh, I think I've put that here. If you want to have an image source shown, we actually have two columns with the called source up here, the PDF source and the text source. So if the source of something is a PDF, then you actually also just want to provide the name of that here. So this is Hatha Pradipika here, and I think if I killed that, then it will stop displaying. We can play around with that later. Great. You see, we can actually also have another source. We can also have text file sources. So if we go to, I think the ones from Great Hill, I think. Let's just go and look at the Great Hill. Yeah, you'll see sometimes here, you actually see I can click to a source text. Wow, and this shows the text file that we actually used as a source for this. Isn't that wonderful? How does that work? Well, similarly, you also see there is also a text source folder here, or sort of a column here, and you must provide the name of the text file that you want to have show up there. So if we were to go to number 29 here on the and again, I guess we could and maybe should abstract away from that so that we just actually show whatever txt files that are in here. But I felt that maybe people could drop stuff in there that we did not want to have shown, I suppose. So therefore you have to explicitly say the name of the PDF source and the name of the txt sources if you want them displayed. Are your heads about to explode now, or does this make sense? Michael, you're nodding. Bjarne, you're nodding.
Yeah, and I was trying to find my unmute button. Yes, it makes sense.
Makes sense.
Cool.
Yeah, just a note there that obviously stuff on Amazon can have different permissions, and permissions has to be set to public access, so it can be seen by the world on our website. When I upload stuff within our scripts, then you can set that programmatically, but you can also just do it in bulk on the Amazon Web Console. So if I, oh yeah, let's see if we can get something to break here. Why not? I'm just gonna take, well, actually, let's just take, oh, okay. I'm gonna try, let's try to break something. We're gonna take this and we're just gonna, can we,
Change access.
where do you see?
Actions. No. I'm guessing you
Oh,
intend.
actually, I'm just gonna go to, because this only gave me the access to make it public. Can I, if I take this and can I? Okay, I'm just gonna go into this object here. Oh, I'm gonna go to the permissions here.
Hmm.
And so if I were to say, if I were to do this, then I should expect that this will now break. Yo, does it break? It has not broken yet. Maybe it's because it's been cached in my let's go open an incognito browser here. Yes, it's broken. Hooray! It would not break with the table view actually, and that's because the table view is not being read in from Amazon in order to store for performance reasons. This text is actually stored directly within the HTML. But if I were to go and inspect what's going on in my internet browser here, then we should see an error somewhere. Yeah, great, failure to load resource. And then if I were to go back to this, and we were to set the access control here back. I understand the effects of these changes. Yes. Great. If we go back to this, then boom, it's reading in. Make sense?
Yep.
Nice. So far, so freaking good. Yeah, no long-term story. That's what I already said. That there's a mixture of various things. Yeah. How to get access? We already said that it's Lel is the one who has all of the information. I think I had to chat directly with Lel about this. That kind of if you want to programmatically, like using a script to upload things to AWS, then you also need some special, like you need kind of an access key and secret access key to do that. And I think I had to make sure that Lel could sort of gave me those as well. Without that, you cannot just say, "Hey computer, can you just go and create all these folders?" Yeah, here's as I already said, when we have large number of files, don't do it manually. I never do it manually, also just to avoid mistakes. There is a package for R, this package that can allow you to do that. Amazon have their own command line interface you can install to do things. Yeah, on the you can see some different stuff. If I were to go to the scripts folder here, then if I go to this file here, I can just see a whole bunch of different examples of things. Be very careful. At some point, I accidentally deleted 10,000 files. Yeah, with great power comes great responsibility. So yeah, stay safe out there. But obviously, it is very, very important to be able to have all that power so that we can do things programmatically. And you see, when I run the files or the kind of the description R for doing things, I use this command to set my credentials. This is not my actual credentials. You can get your own from Lel. of course. And then afterwards, you can do something like this in order to upload things. Amazon Web Services have. I also occasionally use the Amazon Web Services own command line interface, because they have this command called sync that allow you to literally like sync an entire folder to a remote folder on Amazon Web Services in a way where it's parallelized and does things magically and enormously fast. So that's quite important if you. So for example, when Bjarne has edited, well, maybe that's a bad example. When I'm ready to upload all there's around 1,100 manuscripts in the Matcha Japanese collection, and there's like 150,000 images. When I'm about to upload them, I'll be using the sync command to do that. It'll still take a couple of days. I don't know, or maybe it won't. Maybe it'll take 4 hours. I don't know. It'll take a long time. But I'll use kind of this sync command from it. And here's an example of how I use that to upload all the raw files from kind of a hard drive to a folder in the Glacier storage. Yeah, this is a little bit sort of fuzzy with with spaces in folder names. So if there were spaces anywhere here, I'd have to enclose this in single quotes, like this.
But I assume anyway we don't want spaces if we can avoid it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So maybe just remove it.
It's more that kind of sometimes if on your local computer you somewhere have a file path that uses a space, you need to know how to deal with that, and you have to do like that. But yeah, we absolutely never want any spaces in a file name or folder names on Amazon Web Services, because it just creates chaos. Because of the way computers think about space. Computers don't like spaces. I don't know why. They are. Yeah, it's for historical reasons. It's almost the same thing as, you know how it took a long time for the world to invent the number 0. That in Roman numerals there's no number for 0. I think for the same reason there's not. What does it mean? What is an empty character? What is space really? What is empty space? Is that a character? What is it? It's kind of for the same reasons that things break if there's spaces somewhere. Yeah. All clear so far?
Yeah, I'm wondering, this document, does that have any help in case you run programmatically the case that you showed before where you deleted accidentally 100,000 files on the server?
I think I have put it like an FAQ. Yeah. So yeah, I'll try to kind of put some stuff in there. Yeah. The FAQ is probably be kind of the help section.